is like me and coming back here to do your chart prep on Christmas Day. I appreciate y'all for always, hey, for the gang. I'm trying something. I'm trying something out here to see if this actually works. I don't know if it's. I don't know if it's actually. Oh yeah, there it says it's right there. Oh yeah, I can see it. It's actually. Oh, okay. They done messed up. They done messed up. I can do it on Twitter and on what's the name? I could do it on Twitter and YouTube at the same time through StreamYard. Cause y'all know I ain't fooling with IG no more. I ain't fooling with IG no more. And now I could do it on Twitter and share screen. Let me see if this I'm just checking to see if it's gonna do it for the Twitter too. How much man? It's the Met. Oh, okay, they done messed up. I could do it. I could do it on Twitter and YouTube at the same time. I y'all know I ain't fooling with IG no more. What's going on, man? I hope everybody had a very Merry Christmas. I hope you had a very Merry Christmas. Shout out La Familia. My mom and my sister and her kids and grandkids came over. This me and my family's 2024 Christmas ornament picture. We make a Christmas ornament picture every year. This is our Christmas ornament picture this year, right here. That's our Christmas ornament picture this year. We had a marvelous Christmas. Me and me madre and my sister came through. That's my mom and my sister. They came through. You know what I'm saying? Hung out. All of us came. We had a great time, man. We had a great time. But let's go ahead and get into this chart prep chart prep again. Hopefully y'all had what is that? Oh, 71% off. I no, that didn't say 71% off. What it said something. When I opened up my trading view, it said something. Um can't post comments some destinations. What it said? Can't post comments some destinations. Can't post comments some destin. Oh, it's saying I can't post on Twitter. It's saying I can't post comments on Twitter, but I can post comments on YouTube. All right. Again, Merry Christmas, everybody. Y'all know my normal routine when I'm updating my charts. Do I got my mic on? Yes, my mic is on. Let me see how I sound over here. Did I close that? Let's see how I sound. Oh yeah, yeah, I can hear it and everything. Okay, so um, monthly. Let's go to the monthly. Start there. Um, y'all know. Hey Tim and everybody. Microscopic optic. I've never seen that name before. I've never seen the name before, but obviously they've been around because they're asking me something. Um, do you still trade option leaps while doing futures? Um, um, I rarely trade options. I'm not against options. I just have to focus. I just have to focus, and right now I'm focusing on trading futures, but I'm not against trading options. I even, you know what I'm saying, give out my opinion on what I would be doing if I would be trading options for the Spider Gang members who actually trade options still. But I'm not against, I just haven't been trading them. But yes, I use the futures price action to determine when I'm going to buy my options contracts for the SPY or the QQQ, anything like that. Okay, so y'all know where we was at. For anybody who don't know where we was at, just in case somebody pull up on Twitter or pull up on YouTube that's new, y'all know what we have been looking at back in October. We were watching for price to come down here to this monthly order block there, which was created in February. Well, the February candle. The February candle was the order block. Right there, we was watching for it to come there. We had a bullish breaker, which was the July candle. We traded back down there, did exactly as we anticipated, respected the mean threshold of the breaker and the order block, and then we was expecting an expansion. We have been expanding like crazy. November went straight up. December has been going straight up. December has gone up less than November, but we've been going straight up. In the midst of going up, we have taken out the swing high that took us down to that low. Right. So what does that mean? We had a price leg that we were looking at. The price leg that we were watching was from March until July. March to July was the price leg we were watching. We were saying that the monthly had officially went into a bullish retracement, meaning we was getting a pullback, meaning that we was bearish on the monthly until it did what it was needing to do, which was come back down here to these discount PD arrays. Why did a discount PD arrays? Because in the price leg that we were watching from the low of March to the high of July, they're below 43.5875, which is below 50%. The equilibrium of that range is 43.5875. Is below 50%. So that makes these PD arrays down here that we was watching the discount PD arrays. So we pulled back into the discount PD arrays. On the way down, we anticipated pushing through this BISI, which was created with the June candle, was a monthly fair value gap. We anticipated price. My internet saying that is acting crazy, so hopefully y'all can hear me. The price pushed through it as we expected, came down to the discount, and then we started to expand. Now on this expansion, we have taken out the high. What does that mean? We came from the low, set a high, started pulling back, and we came to the internal liquidity. The internal liquidity was this June BISI and this April and May lows, these relative equal lows right there. So we came below these lows and this BISI. That's all the internal liquidity right that we had, and we boom hit the reference points, and we start to expand up. Right, price moves. We took out external liquidity there, taking out that August 2022 high, pulled back into internal liquidity, repricing this BISI, going below these relative equal lows, then expanding up. So we've come from internal liquidity, taking out external liquidity again. So the monthly is still in a what? Gang, y'all tell me what the monthly is still in. Right? Took out external buy side, pulled back to internal. Took out external buy side again. So we're still in a what? What are we still in? We're still in what type of program? All right. Now that we got that out of the way, closest monthly highs that we're coming to is there. So we can mark those. Those are the closest monthly highs that we still have not taken. Since we're relatively close to that, if you the type that likes to give yourself a little bit more buy program, very good. What's up, Kareem? Very good. Somebody got microscopic optic. This got to be somebody I know that and changed their name, because they pulling up with hard hitting answers and everything. What's up, Kareem? Box Top Monthly. If you're the type person that wants to give yourself a little more room, you could always go to that January high. This January 2022 high. You can always go to that January 2022 high, but I always like to go to the most recent swing high that we have not taken yet, and that would be the March 2022 high. Okay. Nothing else I want. Just take note that we have um, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Right. 1, 2, 3, 4 days. Been here a while, but rarely able to catch live due to work. Okay, then that's what's up. Glad you can catch live. 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't even know how the market is trading. Let me see what the market gonna be doing this week. I don't even know how the market is going to be trading this week. I ain't even gonna hold you. I've been kind of disconnected, if you will, from the market. I've been doing a lot of studying and a lot of working around the house. All right, so for Christmas, they done went to 2024 already. Okay, so Christmas. Okay, they go Christmas. So it's the 22nd through the 26th. Okay, so holiday schedule. It says the 22nd through the 20th. Let me see, Globex. Yeah, I say the 22nd through the 26th. All right. Spot there. I hate come to this site, man. It'd be hard to Yeah, I see it. I just saw that from Twitter. Yeah, this is dope. Yeah, Zay. I said it just giving me a chance to do it to both of them at the same time. I was trying. What Zay? What is it? How's the market going to be trading this week? What days is it going to be closed? Is it going to be closed tomorrow too, or is it going to be open tomorrow? I've been kind of disconnected, so I don't even know. Um, I was trying to see. It say the 22nd through the 26th. Oh, let me see. All right. All right. So here we go. All right. This is what I was looking for. Equities. Okay. Hey, where go back to Christmas. Christmas. All right. Okay. So the 26th for the equities close. All right. So 26 real. So it's not opening until tomorrow afternoon. Tomorrow. So it's closed tomorrow and it's they say open tomorrow. Okay. But right here it's showing okay, because it says see entry trade date. It says pre-open at 1600, open at 1700, close 1600. So this right here is closed. Yeah, it's crazy because they be open. They all when I say open, I be meaning like the real New York Open. That's what I'm talking about. Towns like the New York Open. Cause the futures be like open, like you know what I'm saying? They be open, like I know they open now, but I'm talking about like the New York Open. You know what I'm saying? Cause like for like the it's crazy because the ES, the NASDAQ, the Dow, they be open, but they really US equities. So they don't be like open for real until like the New York time. So and then see how See how livestock says on Tuesday it opens at 8:30. See, if like Tuesday open at 8:30, but everything else, see, it say closed at 16. That's it closed at 1600. And then see right Monday. Oh, that's today, Monday. And then Tuesday. See, Monday, see, like this right here. It opened today, right? At the end of the day. And then I get, yeah. So okay, so it's open. All right, so it opened today and it's closing to, yeah, so it's open tomorrow. Thank you, Zay. Yes, thank you, Zay. It's open. I like, cause this was confusing the mess out of me. So yes, it's open, right? Zay said it's open, and we just confirmed it through my confusion right there. The 25th, it opened up like the regular evening time, you know what I'm saying? And then it closes at 1600 and then opens back up again. Yeah, so there you go. There you go. It's open now. Back to what I was saying. I don't know how this week is going to trade. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if it's going to be a lot of action to do anything, but you know, I'm just doing my chart prep. Doing my chart. How did I get on ZB? Get out of here, ZB. All right, just doing my chart prep. And then also, if you know, I've been using the continuous contract. The reason why I've been using the continuous contract is because on the front month, the data don't go back that far. Like if I put this on like a monthly, right? If I put this on a monthly, it's cool. We get a peek into something. But if you look at it like on the front month, it looked like we made all-time new highs, but we didn't. But the front month just don't go back that far. You know what I'm saying? The front month just don't go back that far. So I've been using the continuous contract. Because see, that's where the front month like it ends. And with the continuous contract, you know what I'm saying? It's showing the data a little bit different. That's why I've been using the continuous contract, because it don't, this is the front month right here. And then this is the continuous contract. That's why I switched over to the continuous contract, because y'all know I usually use the front month, but now I'm using the continuous contract. So, oh, that's what I was about to say. We got 1, 2, 3, 4 more trading days in December, and I'm just calling it. This is going to be a busy, right? I don't see us reversing in these 4 days to come all the way back down to October's high, which is 44.8150. So I'm going ahead and calling it. I'm calling this a busy right there. I'm not going to leave it on my chart for right now, but I'm just saying, hey, November is going to be a busy. All right. And what does that lend to in my head? That lends to the bullishness of the monthly time frame, because price has ebbs and flows. We go up, we took out buy side, we took out external buy side here when we hit that October 22 high. Like I said, we pulled back into internal liquidity on this retracement, bullish pullback, whatever you want to call it, right here when we pulled back, right? Some people call them pullbacks, corrections, retracements. That was 11 almost 12% of a pullback from the high to the low. So that moves into the realm of correction territory for people who, you know what I'm saying, use those terms. It had a retracement back into discount for people who use those terms. Whatever you want to call it, price has ebbs and flows. So now we've rallied. If you want to call that a rally, we've attacked buy side again. If you want to call it attacking buy side, we've expanded, right? We've expanded. Now, since we see that there's going to be a monthly fair value gap, you can say we've displaced. We got displacement, whatever term you want to use. There it is. Now, What does that mean? We've displaced, we got institutional sponsorship to the upside. So now the bullishness is still intact, right? Now I will be looking for price. If we make it to this high and take out this high from January 2022, right? I'll be looking for some type of retracement. A retracement to where can we expect price to retrace to, right? The only imbalance we would have would be this November BISI. So if price started to retrace back toward that November BISI, right, is like it's more within reason for it to retrace back to this eternal liquidity before proceeding back up, right? Since December is about to close and we say we don't anticipate it coming back into this area right there, then we would have an order block right there on the October calendar. Theoretically, all three of these, the August, September, and October, would be your entire order block, right? If you go from the high to the low, right, the mean threshold would be just below that BISI. If you're a type person that only uses the bodies, right, the mean threshold would be right at the low of that BISI. So it's more than reasonable for price to come back down into that fair value gap, into the mean threshold of that entire order block, into the high of the last down close candle of the order block, right? It's more than reasonable for price to pull back to there before continuing up. So if you start to see price pull back, don't panic. That's a good thing. Shout out Michelle Tucker. Michelle been waiting for a pullback to get in positions since November started. Her trading setup is once price expands, let it retrace back down into a daily breaker. It has not retraced back down into a daily breaker since November started. It has been running up since November started. So if you see it start to pull back, just start salivating and chomping at the bit. If you're not the type of person that like to play puts, then just start chomping at the bit, because your buying opportunity will be at hand. The market can't go up forever. Let's go back. Let's go to the weekly now. I'm going to go ahead and take this monthly BISI off right there, because it's not made yet. Then if you notice, we have right there at that BISI, right? We already have a weekly breaker right there already. Where's that mean threshold of that weekly breaker? Right there at a weekly fair value gap right there. So you got a weekly breaker. Technically, the entire breaker would be there, right? If you go from wick to wick, same thing. That's your breaker. That's your mean threshold of your breaker. That's falling inside that monthly order, fair value gap. If we create it, we have a weekly fair value gap that's there already. So you have weekly confluence again, and then you have and bear in mind, we got a weekly fair value gap here. So we could pull back into that before taking that high, or we could kiss that high and then pull back into this top weekly fair value gap. Now let's do a quick lesson on things that price like to do to shake people out. Since I'm in the mood, I ain't been on live in a minute, so I feel like running my mouth, right? This kind of stuff that price like to do to shake people out, right? We got a weekly. Let's mark this out so people can see, for people who can't like identify stuff like this, right? We do have a weekly BISI that's already created here. This is a real thing. Weekly BISI there, right? Mood is monthly. That's not real yet, right? We have a weekly breaker. This is your whole breaker here. I'm just going, let's go wick for wick. Wick to wick. That's your weekly breaker right there, wick to wick, right? But we're just going to focus. I like to focus on the last up close or down close candle in the PD array, right? So I'm going to make this blue, right? So that's your weekly breaker, right? The last up close candle inside your weekly breaker. What makes that a breaker? You had a low right here, set a high, came down, took out that low. Then we traded back past that high. Boom, there's your breaker. You have a breaker in line with a fair value gap. Now, when price, this is weekly time frame, right? So we're going to go to the monthly. When price wants to get to a monthly imbalance, remember, this month is almost over. There's going to be a monthly imbalance right there, right? So price will very well, it will, don't be fooled if you see price come up and hit that high, start to pull back into this fair value gap and breaker, right? Fair value gap here, fair value gap there, breaker here, and then go back up into further into this liquidity, even taking out that high, right? Even take that's the monthly apex. So come up, come down, push up, and take out that high right there, and then come down and take out that low right there, right? That's going to give you a break in market structure on the weekly. The bears are going to go crazy. The bears are going to go crazy. Jumping at the bit. It's time for the market to die. That's what's going to be going on, right? Right. Then this is going to be our monthly fair value gap right here. Right. I know we're supposed to be doing chart prep, but I feel like running my mouth. Right. This is our monthly fair value gap that's going to be created. This right here will be the bearish breaking market structure right there. That's got everybody chomping at the bit. Got everybody chomping at the bit. This will be the bearish breaking market structure on the weekly. Has everybody chomping at the bit for the market to die. Okay, so now I don't want anyone to fall victim if the scenario plays out like that. The weekly take out that high, pull back into this weekly imbalance, right? We will be pulling back. This will be a monthly breaker right there. That low, that high, lower than that low, break that high. You will have a monthly breaker lining up with a weekly imbalance. You pull back down. See, I wouldn't talk about this monthly breaker. I was talking about this on the weekly. Boom, come up, take out the monthly target from way back here when we came down there and went up. That was the monthly long-term target up there. Take it out and then start pulling back into monthly liquidity, right? At that time, taking that out, this would still be the only imbalance on the monthly. So you come back and you take out this monthly liquidity. Let's put it all the way to the low of that right there, right? Now let's go back down to the weekly, right? Think about it. That's a monthly candle. Come back down to the weekly, right? Where does that put us, right? We still have one weekly imbalance left down there, right? So think about it. All price has to do on the monthly, it can come all the way down to this weekly imbalance right there. Let's come all the way down to that weekly imbalance. Put it there. Feel that weekly imbalance, right? We're going to feel that weekly imbalance. And then all it has to do is come back up and close inside that monthly fair value gap right there, right? Just put me a few more lines in here. I'm just putting them lines in there just for the kick of it. I mean, because I'm going to need it later. All it has to do is come back in there and close inside that monthly fair value gap like that. And that's still bullish, right? What would make it be? You would have to come down, and I always like to give this, you and bears chomping at the bit, you would have to have displacement below that low in order for it to switch to a bearish stance on the monthly chart. You would have to have displacement below 4173.25 for price on the ES to switch to a bearish stance, right? Right. And since the homie Zay on here, I don't know if anybody that be tapping into Zay stuff is on here. Let's put it into terms for people who don't use the ES. That would be on the US 500. that would be that low right there. Is that the same low? Let me see. Let me see if that's the same low. Yes. See if it's the same. Where did I put it? New pane. Okay, so pull back. That would be that would be that low right there. 4103. 4103.10. That's the low on the US 500. 4103.10. Displacement below 4103.10 would switch it to a bearish stance on the US 500. And why is that? Because you would be going from external. We took out external liquidity when we took out 4606, and then you would be going back down. You would be going from external liquidity and displacing below external liquidity at 4103.10. So when you go from external to external, that's signs of a reversal. And displacement below that low would be, you know what I'm saying, signs of a reversal of going lower. Now back to what we were saying. Yes. So that is what would switch it to a bearish sentiment. Displacement below 4173.25. Until it takes out 4173.25, don't even worry. And then if it displaces below 41, and that's on the monthly candles. When you get a monthly candle that displaces below 4173.25, that's when you worry and be like, oh, we're going down, baby, your street in a Range Rover. If it start now, you have targets that you can look, and I'm talking about this because the homie Micro Optics was asking about buying leaps and stuff like that. So I'm saying all of that just in case anybody don't know why I'm saying all of this. I'm saying all that to give people a mindset of how to formulate your trade ideas, right? How to formulate trade ideas. There you go. Quick cliff notes for anybody who didn't catch what I was putting down, right? Or catch what I was throwing or picking up what I was putting down. The December candle is almost over. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 days. When the December candle ends, we are going to have a fair value gap, a bullish fair value gap. The November candle is going to be a bullish fair value gap. That fair value gap is going to be in between 45.99.75 and 44.81.50, right? If price decides it wants to take out this monthly high from March, the March candle 2022, right, and pull back into, there's a weekly fair value gap already between 47.43.25 and 46.66. It can pull back into that weekly fair value gap to get more steam to go take out this final destination high on the monthly of the January 2022 high that would give us all-time highs, right? All-time new highs, right? Price can very well do that, coming back down into there before proceeding up, right? Again, once December is over, there will be a fair value gap down here. If you see price starting to go toward this fair value gap, you can very well play puts. You can play puts, and then when will you be looking to take profits? You have key points to let you know when to start scaling out and taking profits. What are those key points? If we come to this fair value gap before taking out that high at 48.60.25, right? Once you get down to this weekly fair value gap from 47.43 to 46.66, you may want to start scaling out. if we start pulling back to that before taking out that high at 48.60, right? If we take out 48.60 before coming back to that fair value gap, once we start going toward that fair value gap, once you hit it, you may want to start scaling out of your puts. At the same time, keep in mind there's a monthly fair value gap down here. That's why I said scaling. I ain't say close, start scaling out, taking some off the table, because we may reverse and come back up to this high before coming down to this monthly fair value gap. All right. They're just giving you something, giving you targets to shoot for. I like to trade from internal liquidity to external. Right. So if I was in a short, if I was in puts, right, when I got to these fair value gaps, right, I would be looking to scale out. I'm happy with taking my profits here at this first fair value gap. When it got down to the second fair value gap, I would be looking to get into calls. Why? Because I like to get into my position in internal liquidity and then target external liquidity, right? Get in here, target this high, right, to take a piece off, and then the next high up there to take the rest off over here at this. I ain't got my fancy dancing on, so y'all can't follow the bouncing ball right there. Right, calls here, scale a piece off there, scale the rest off there. All right, if price come up, hit this high, give me a reversal signal, puts here, scale a piece off there, scale the rest, close the position here. That's the way you use the 4103. You said it was 4103. Yeah, US 500. They said it's 4103. Hit the US 500, man. 41. Yeah, 4103. That must have been before I clicked the right one. Yeah, because that's the one I clicked the second. Yeah, 4103. There you go. There you go right there. 4103. That's that low right there. Same thing with the US 500. Whenever you take out your external liquidity, target the PD arrays on the inside. On the inside. Shout out to homie Zay. Target the PD arrays or target your. I got to get it. I got to get the lines. Target your pivots. Look at your target your pivot. See that little pivot right there? See that little pivot right there? Boom. Put a line there. Right there. That's a pivot. You got a pivot there. 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 You got a pivot over there. This little pivot on that line there, bring it over, is really close to that pivot, but this is the most current one there. Now let's go back to a regular chart. Let's see this. Let's see this magic work. Candles. Look where that pivot ended up at. Ain't that's what I just said? Ain't that's what I just said? Everything is more than one way to skin a cat. If you understand your terminology, it's more than one way to skin a cat. Because guess what? Everybody's saying the same thing. And if you sit down and talk to people and get to understand their thought process behind stuff and stop trying to say my mentor's the best and I'm the best trader in the world. And man, we out here trying to make money for our family, man. All this, everybody's saying the same thing. Where's my line? Oh, I'm on US 500. Get out of here, US 500. Move, punk. All right. Now that I did all that talking, now let's do our chart prep. So, microscopic optic, hopefully that helped out with your question about like buying like leaps and stuff like that. That's a way you can utilize the price action, looking at the futures. And then if you're looking at the futures, just say if you're looking at the NQ, let's look at the NQ, right? NQ futures, right? So you're looking at the NQ futures. Let's put it on a continuous contract for NQ, right? You're looking at the NQ futures, right? And then you think about what big tech companies move just like the NQ, right? So if you look at the big tech companies, and then how do you do this right here? This for microscopic optic and everybody, right? let's find a big tech company. Let's say Nvidia. Right. So what you can do, Nvidia, let's say Apple, say Apple, somebody give me a big tech company. I ain't been looking at single companies in a long time. I can't think of no things. Something that people want to buy. Like Microsoft moves slow, so you don't really want to be buying calls and puts on that. What move fast? Tech. Anyway, we're just gonna use them too. Okay, so you want to look at them, right, and say, hey, do they chart look just like the NQ? And they do. You know what I'm saying? They chart look pretty much like the NQ, right? Their chart look pretty much like the NQ. So it's slight difference, but pretty much the same. So if you're watching the NQ and you're anticipating the NQ to do something, right? Then that's where you can go in and say, okay, now let me see this here. The NQ took out this high right here, right? We took out this monthly high on the NQ, right? What is this? Nvidia is struggling to get to really displace above that high. Apple is struggling to displace above that high. So they are moving relatively weaker than the NASDAQ futures. So when the NASDAQ starts showing signs of pulling back, you may want to go short the weakness. Which is Nvidia and Apple are trading weaker than the NASDAQ. So if it's, you know what I'm saying, if you're looking to play puts, when the index starts showing the weakness or the reversal, you want to go to the names that were struggling to get that high, to take that high and short that. It ain't got to be these two, but I'm saying, you know what I'm saying, you look at you, that's how you do it. You look at that and be like, hey, you know what I'm saying, they kind of struggling to take out, that's divergence. You know what I'm saying? They're struggling to yeah, it's like weakness is like a weakness divergence. Relative strength. That's what it is. Relative strength. It's not divergence. It's relative strength, relative weakness. I'm sorry. Divergence would be, you know what I'm saying, like it's a sort of divergence. It's like SMT divergence, showing like they're not pumping as much money into it. But what I'm talking about is relative weakness. So that's, you can look for, like if you say, oh, I don't really want to short QQQ. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to short QQQ. I want to short a name to get me some more money out of it, right? Same thing, right? Apple, Nvidia, they're in QQQ, right? If you look at QQQ, the index, right? That same high, look at there, right? They're moving weaker than the entire thing. See what I'm saying? So when QQQ come over here and take out, they already took out that high. QQQ take that high and then rejects off and start pulling back. Then you can look at the names inside QQQ and be like, hey, this name was struggling to take this July high. So they're relatively weaker than the index. So I might want to play puts on that. And then somebody may say, hey, I'm just going to play puts on QQQ because I don't want to put all my eggs in one basket and bank on. Now, if you're putting it in one basket, if you're putting it on a single name, your percentage is going to be higher because that single name is going to move faster than the entire basket. Your returns are going to be higher. That ain't what I got on here to talk about, but Microsoft, they asked the question, and y'all know I can't help myself. I get to run in my mouth. I get to run in my mouth. Okay. AMD. Okay. ADBE. I don't know what none of that stuff is. I know what AMD is. ADBE. What's that? Adobe? What's ADBE? ADBE. Adobe? What is that? Adobe. I was right. Adobe is in the queues. Adobe is in the queues. I don't even know. Is Adobe in the Qs? If Adobe is in the Qs, Adobe is moving a whole lot weaker than the Qs overall. Right? Meaning like on the monthly time, see right here. That's the Qs, and then that's Adobe. What was the other one? AMD. Is AMD in the Qs? I don't know. I ain't been keeping up with what's in what. Like I've been so focused on the futures. AMD has been moving overall weaker than the Qs, right? AMD has been moving weaker overall. Now, short-term highs, you know what I'm saying? Like this right here, AMD has still been weaker than the Qs, but they are taking highs, right? They are taking highs, but long-term, when you go to relative highs, it's like lagging behind, right? It's lagging behind the Qs. But like, you know, that's kind of stuff you look at, like what is it doing relative speaking, relative, because even look at the coming back to the lows when it pulled back, like look how much displacement the Qs had here on this run up from October up until March 2023 up until July 2023. Look how much displacement the Qs had, and then look at that same run on AMD, far weaker than the overall ETF. I got so sidetracked on that. I'm sorry, y'all. Let me go back to what I was doing. I saw somebody. I love when you go all. Yeah, I go down a rabbit hole quick. Did y'all see? Hey, did y'all see the thumbnail I made when I posted it to the gang? And I like, welcome to the rabbit hole. Did y'all see the? Did y'all see the thumbnail? Welcome to the rabbit hole. I go in the rabbit hole quick. You feel me? Did you notice how Dixie weekly chart making a clean bullish setup? Market maker buy model, relative equal lows, purge and displacement, OTE retracement, beautiful. I ain't gonna hold you. I ain't looked at you see on the weekly. I ain't even looked at the dollar. I was tracking it for a while, and then I've been so disconnected with the market, man. I've been so disconnected with the market. Okay, so the dollar. All right, the dollar came up. We took out that high. Well, this is when we was running that high, and then it fell short of that high right there, right? That high was inside the fair value gap. Fell short of that high. It stopped right here at the bearish order block, right? The dollar came up, stopped at the bearish order block. The bearish order block stopped it in its track. Hurt, right? Look at that. The body of the candle. See that long crazy wick? That's why I'm just doing the body. Look how them candle bodies over these weeks right here. All of these weeks right there respected that bearish order block right there. That bearish order block stopped in its tracks. So now it came down, right? Displaced down there, came back, respect this fair value gap, couldn't even get back to it, right? Couldn't even get back to the fair value gap. The candle, it respected the candle that gave you the changing the state of delivery right here. That would be this week of November 13th candle that gave you the change in the state of delivery, right? Well, Tim, what do you mean by that? Okay, we were going up, we were bullish, right? We were bullish, we were coming up, then we started to consolidate right there, right? So we was coming up, bullish, started consolidating, right? Then we had a down close candle there, right? Shifting sentiment. We got another bullish candle. This is a bullish candle. It opened here, started trading back up, right? When price came down and went below the opening price, this was your change in the state of delivery right there, right? That candle right there. right? That price, when it went through that price there, boom, had a change in the state of delivery, right? And so price was just respecting this candle right there. It didn't even get back up. If you notice, it didn't even get back up. And did it get inside there? Yeah, it did. It poked inside that fair value gap a little bit. We got an institutional order flow entry drill right there on that fair value gap right there. Why? Because that was the change in the state of delivery right there. That was when price said, I don't want to keep going up. I want to go down. So it was exceedingly bearish. And when you get an institutional order flow entry drill off a fair value gap, that shows you how bearish or bullish you are. Boop. Then we went down. Took out the low again. Continued to push down. Now, this is what I would be watching if I was a dollar watcher. See this imbalance right there? See how we came down and kissed that? Right? So we came down and kissed that. Now, I would be watching how price reacted. If the dollar is still super bearish, I wouldn't want to see it push back up too far into this weekly candle right there. Why not? Because we came down, we took out sell side right there, closed above it, and then we immediately wicked down and took out that low and traded into that imbalance. Right? That's very, very bearish. So I wouldn't want to see it trade all the way back up. Yes, we do have an imbalance right here, a bearish imbalance right there. But when price is running like this, you don't want to see it wasting too much time retracing back. You want it to keep just keep running. Just keep running. Right? But bear in mind, it can come back up to that imbalance right there at least. But you just want to see it keep running. All right. I appreciate you, microscopic. You started this, man, with the questions. I supposed to be updating my charts. You started this with the questions, but I appreciate it, man. Merry Christmas to everybody, man. I hope y'all had a wonderful Christmas, man. Let's go ahead and get back to let's update these charts, and then I'm gonna let y'all go. What did I do? That weekly busy, I will leave that there because that's valid. Weekly fair value gap, I will leave that there. That's valid. That's a valid fair value gap there. I'm gonna take this monthly off because the month not closed yet. I'll probably come back later and put it back on. Again, watching this high right there. Would like to see that high touched before coming back to this imbalance. Touch that high, come back to the imbalance, go up, make a new high, then come back down to the monthly imbalance, and then this lower fair value gap. Would love to see that on the weekly. Sorry, I keep hitting my I got my little model rifles. Got my AK and my sniper rifle that I keep hitting. I keep hitting them. That's what I keep like my fingers tripping over. Let's go to the daily real quick. Okay, on the daily, we got a daily busy there. I'm not gonna bother marking it out because we already got the weekly marked out. Weekly in the same spot as that. We got a daily right here on that December 13th candle. On this right here, when it comes to fair value gaps like this, when I have multiple fair value gaps on a time frame, I like to default to the higher time frame where it's just a single fair value gap, because that gives me a definite, okay, this is what I got going on. It gives me a definite one thing to look at. When it's like multiples right there, I'm like, which one does it want? Which one does it want? You know what I'm saying? It's too much for my mind because there's 1, 2, 3 of them here. It's like on the daily. That's why I'm just focusing on the weekly right here. Looking at this side of the chart with that imbalance there, right? I really wouldn't want to see price slide back down past this area here that I got marked out. Why? Because that's an imbalance that we've gotten on the top side of, right? And if we come back into this daily, see, let me show y'all if y'all can't see, right? We got a daily imbalance there, and then we got a daily imbalance that's in line with this huge volume imbalance right there. So that right there should support price. If we came back down, so the top daily fair value gap would be more prone to be the draw as opposed to the lower ones, because we got confluence of imbalances that we've already blew through. Nothing else on the daily that I want to mark out. Again, don't know how price is going to react this week. Looking at the 4 hour, we've got back up to, okay, we had this huge imbalance right here. Had a huge SIBI, 4 hour SIBI right there. We had a huge 4 hour SIBI that we've gotten. We went back up to, then we traded back. Nah, let's do this right here. Right, we had this huge SIBI right here. Came all the way back, repriced all the way up to it, got a closure just outside of it. Then we pulled back down, taking out this low, right? Taking out this low right there, and then pulled back in, respecting this 4 hour BSI right there. Right. So we pulled in and we respecting that 4 hour BSI right there. Right. So took sell side, took out sell side there, pushed back up, repriced all the imbalances of this drop down. Right now, boom, we've done that imbalance. So we took out external sell side, pulled back to the internal, right? Redid all, get off my screen, all of the internal, right? If it was still bearish, we should have come back down and taken out this external again. We didn't do that. We pushed back up, took out the internal, then pushed back down, took out external on this piece of price leg right there. Right? On this price leg right here, we came down, took out external, and then started moving back up. We never came back down to the low of the move that we were repricing. Right? That's still bullish. That's bullish sentiment on that 4 hour. Right? Until price gives you a reason, just trade with the trend. Right? That's still bullish right there. For the 4 hour to break bearish, you need to get displacement below this low right here at 47.43.25. Need displacement below that low. I ain't just talking about just a little peak down. We need some displacement below that low. Yeah. I ain't gonna go no lower than the 4 hour. That's it. That's all I got. Appreciate y'all for hanging out with me. Been on here for 58 minutes. I appreciate that microscopic optic. Yeah, man, they nice. I like these right here. I showed them before. I had showed them before. This is my AK. All right, that's my AK. I got my little brother got them for me. That's my AK. That's my sniper rifle. All right, the sniper rifle got like a little cock on it, like the little charging handle. You know what I'm saying? Both of them got clips on them. Got clips with the little bullets in them. You know what I'm saying? They got clips. Both of them got clips on them. The AK got a banana clip. You know what I'm saying? Got a banana. Got some bananas for any monkeys out there. Anybody that any monkeys out there? We got bananas out there for any monkeys. Got a banana clip. You feel me? With the rounds in it. Got the banana clip. Yeah. But yeah, them little models that my little brother got for me. Yeah, man. Again, for the channel members, I will be dropping I told y'all, I was like, it's gonna be like y'all Christmas present from me, but it's gonna be in January. So it was let me get the date when I started it. Let me see if it showed me the date when I started the channel membership. I know it was sometime in January. Let me see if I forgot to look to see what the date was. Membership. Membership. Do it show? Hold on. See more. Let's see. So okay, so it looked like it was the beginning of January. Y'all can't see that. I was trying to look right here. If I go right, this first day right there, it says January 4th. Was that the first day? January 1st. January 1st. So it was January 1st. Oh, so I got to get busy. So January 1st. I got to drop it on January 1st. Because January 1st is showing somebody signed up. Can I stretch? I can't stretch this out. I can't stretch this out. Okay, January 1st. That's what we're going with. So January 1st, that means I got to record. January 1st, I will be dropping the video for the channel members where I go over my one of my particular strategies that I use for intraday trading in relations to with using inversion fair value gaps. That is strictly is something that I use from time to time, and it's strictly dealing with inversion fair value gaps and how I use them for intraday. It's an intraday model for it can be used for quick scalps. It can be used for, you know what I'm saying, staying in the trade for anywhere from 3 minutes to 3 hours, depending on how long, what high you're or low that you're targeting. But it's strictly dealing with inversion fair value gaps, and that's the video that I'm gonna drop as my Christmas present to the gang. That's it, man. That's all I got. Appreciate y'all for hanging out with your boy. If no one got nothing for me, we're gonna call it. Let me sip me some high quality H2O, and then I'll see if anybody has anything for me. And if not, we're gonna call it. Again, I hope y'all enjoyed y'all Christmas, man, because I enjoyed mine. I still got on my matching PJ set. Me and my family had on our matching P. Oh, I showed y'all the picture. That's it. That's it, man. I don't see nothing popping in the chat. Again, it's 11:34 on Christmas night. You could be anywhere else in the world, but you decided to come here and hang out with your boy. So until the next time I decide to jump on Al Gore's internet and share my thoughts about the price action, y'all be safe out here in these trading streets, man. It's your boy, Aranya Grande, aka Big Spider. Gone, man.